If I were to describe my life in one word, that word would be Kachow.
Kachow!
Kachow!
What a fucking kachow.
Kachow, 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 kachow.
Kachow. It's a word that's been following me my whole life. It's shaped me, defined me. If anyone's life is a highway, it's mine.
Life is a highway.
What?
I gotta get back to work.
For those of you who don't know, Kachow is Lightning McQueen's catchphrase in the movie Cars. What's interesting about the word Kachow is if you type it into Google Trends, you'll notice that there was a huge spike around August, September of 2016, which is weird because it came seemingly out of nowhere. It wasn't caused by Cars 3 because the trailer for that movie didn't come out until a couple months later. Plus, the release of the other Cars movies never really had an effect on how much people searched for that word. So why were people suddenly searching for the word Kachow on Google? What caused it? Yeah, I may have had something to do with that. Let's start at the beginning. In 2006, Pixar released the weirdest film they've ever made, Cars. I saw it and I had just so many questions. How do cars reproduce? Are they built? Do cars have sex? Why does Lightning McQueen's phone have buttons? How does he press them? There were dinosaurs in this universe? There has to have been for them to have oil, but how come they weren't cars too? Do they eat or do they just drink gasoline? If it's a second one, why do they have teeth? Why do cars have windows? Who needs to see out of them if there's no people? If there's a car Jay Leno and a car Arnold Schwarzenegger, are there other car celebrities? Is there a car Owen Wilson? Aside from these burning questions keeping me awake at night, the movie didn't have much of an effect on me. I thought it was just fine. But my little brother, he was obsessed with it. The day Cars came out on DVD was the day my whole world got turned upside down. Cars played in my home 24/7. My little brother needed it on at all times. We would have to listen to this movie over and over and over again. And when the movie ended, the DVD's main menu would pop up and that annoying 5-second loop would start. If we took the DVD out of the player, we'd get in trouble, so our only option was to press play and start the movie again. The movie got played so many times that we went through 3 DVDs because they kept getting worn out. It got to the point where me and my siblings all had the movie memorized. The movie would even play in my brain when I wasn't even home. I couldn't get away from it. When my baby brother finally got over Cars, it was an incredible day for all of us. We could finally watch other movies. We were free, and I made a personal vow to never have anything to do with Cars ever again. But fate had other plans. 2013, 6 years later, I found myself working as a cast member at Disneyland. Specifically, Disneyland's disappointment of a younger sibling, California Adventure. I worked in 2 areas, Tower of Terror, sick, and what used to be Bugs Land, even sicker. You can't go to Disneyland Resort without going on Heimlich's choo-choo train. Are you crazy? Now the thing about those 2 places is that they just so happen to be right next to the recently opened, you guessed it, Cars Land. I tried to stay away. I tried to avoid working there. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end it doesn't even matter because eventually the inevitable happened. They trained me at Cars Land. For those of you unfamiliar, Cars Land is an exact replica of Radiator Springs from the movie. That meant now, instead of spending a third of my life watching the movie, I was spending a third of my life in the movie. My job there was working at the big e-ticket attraction, Radiator Springs Racers. It was the most popular ride in the entire resort at the time, which is funny because nobody knew what it was called. People would either call it Cars Land because some genius decided to put the name of the land over the ride on the map, or they would call it the Cars Ride. Or if English wasn't their first language, they would call it the Cars Game. People would ask me where Cars Land was and I would say, congratulations, you're already here. If people asked me where the Cars Ride was, I would say, which one? We got 3. I always knew what they were talking about, but I'm a piece of shit, so. Anyway, working at the Cars Game actually wasn't too bad. The employees were pretty cool and the fast-paced environment meant days would fly right by. Except when the ride broke down. Sometimes guests would wait 3 whole hours just for the damn thing to break down. Then they would wait another hour in line for us to try to fix it before eventually we just gave them the fast passes to come back later. Which they would, and then they would get in the fast pass line, which is now 40 minutes long because of all the fast passes we had to give out. And then they would get right up to the ride and then it would break down again for another 2 hours. And then they would just give up. You could spend your entire miserable vacation trying to get on the Cars Game and never ride it once. It was f***ing magical. Of course, the biggest curse of working at Cars Land was the Cars aspect of it. All these characters who I had become thoroughly sick of were now prominently weaved into my daily life. Every day I was being victimized by the same 10 lines of dialogue that had been recorded by Owen Wilson and Larry the Cable Guy.
Float like a Cadillac, sting like a Beamer.
It was insanity-inducing. Life was a highway and I wanted to take the next exit. But then one day, I was scrolling through Reddit and I saw a meme that changed everything. Do you guys remember that Arthur meme that was just like his closed fist? There was this iteration of it that was just Lightning McQueen's tire and it said, "When you don't win the Piston Cup." God, it's weird describing a meme. I found it hilarious and I thought, man, Cars has so much meme potential if you think about it. The weird character designs, the cringy dialogue. So I did a search. I wanted to find out if there was a subreddit dedicated to Cars memes.
Jeremy beats his wife confirmed.
No, all I could find was this tiny subreddit simply called r/Kachow. It had maybe 11 subscribers and like 2 posts. I was disappointed. I guess Cars wasn't a meme. But the next day while I was working at Carsland, I thought of a Cars meme, so I posted it there. Then I thought of another one. Then I posted that. Suddenly I was coming up with 1 or 2 memes a day, every one of them Cars related. Then I realized that if I turn Cars into a meme, then my job at Carsland will in itself be a meme. So I started shitposting on a damn near daily basis. Every day I had fresh new memes for the subreddit. Sometimes I would even stockpile them so I could spread them over the course of several days. I was loving it. Lightning McQueen, who was once my tormentor, was now my muse.
I believe you were blushing, Mr. Big Artiste.
Then something wonderful began happening. The subreddit was now so jam-packed with my memes that people were subscribing left and right. People were making their own memes and posting them there. And then those memes would get posted somewhere else, and people would use that as an opportunity to link back to r/Kachow, which would give the subreddit more subscribers, which would cause even more memes to be posted. It was like the Reddit circle of life, except life was a highway.
Wow.
Yeah. Eventually, I slowed down my meme making and took a step back and admired what had been created. At this point, the subscriber count was in the thousands. I was so proud. I've never experienced the feeling of having a child and watching it grow up, but I imagine this was better. It had finally happened. Lightning McQueen was a meme. And it was all thanks to me. Okay, fine, it was a result of the combined efforts of thousands of people, but I helped. I checked on r/Kachow recently and I'm stoked to see that it's still active. People still post there and it now has over 16,000 subscribers. And if you look at the growth data, you'll see that, oh no, it's flattened out. This is unacceptable. I need to do something. Wait a second. I'm famous! I could use my massive influence to turn the tide. This is a call to action. Subscribe to the subreddit. Post more Kachow memes. Upvote the Kachow memes. Fuck Team Trees. Let's actually do something important. Let's save the memes! What a shitty video. Hi everyone, it's me, slightly higher quality Jeremy, here to do the outro. If you want to see all those memes I made, just go ahead and head on over to my old Reddit profile. Yes, it's called Mr. Internets. I made it 8 years ago back when I thought I Can Has Cheeseburger was still funny. Give me a break. Disclaimer, I didn't make all of these. Some of them I had to scour the unholy depths of the internet for. Fucking black market memes. But most of them are Jeremy originals. Like this one, wow, what a great meme. Or how about this one, wow, so original, premium meme. Seems like a lot of fun, go check it out, kids. Also, why don't you guys go ahead and leave a comment? I love reading your comments. Oh wow, such a great comment. This is me reading your comment. Give me those thoughts, complaints, video ideas. I'm bald, you can bully me about that. Also, check out some other stuff. Boom, 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 boom. All right, bye-bye, I love you. Thanks for watching. Ciao.